You know, I ask all the time whenever I see these new remakes, remasters, reimaginings, whatever the fuck of these shows, and I ask, who is this marketed towards? Like, who the fuck's watching this? I guess people don't even really turn this on as background noise. People just, I guess, nobody really watches these shows. But then you get shows like, Halo getting season 2, and you're like, okay, so there's apparently this push. Money's coming from somewhere to keep these shows going. Shows that, like, I'm surprised if anyone watches these. So this is the new Doctor Who. They brought back David Tennant, I think his name is, the original actor for Doctor Who, or was he? I don't know. Doctor Who's been going for a while, and I really wanted to watch Doctor Who, but and I might still watch the older ones, but apparently Doctor Who dives off the progressive deep end as latest show sees the Doctor lectured on pronouns, chastised for being male presenting. It's like, okay, and someone keeps sending me clips of Doctor Who, and I don't think I can show them on on a recording or as a YouTube video because, well, the BBC, obviously they're gonna fucking copyright that shit. So, unfortunately, the fans who hoped his return to the role of showrunner would see the beloved sci-fi series rediscover its story-centric roots. Russell T Davies has instead used the first special of his latest run on Doctor Who as an opportunity to annoyingly lecture, or more precisely chastise, audiences on a variety of progressive topics. Not surprised. This is obviously and apparently the point of these shows. They're not to put out a product to entertain people. It's to shove ideology and lecture to people, and people just don't like this. And again, this is something you can't explain or quantify. Like, you'll have that religious uncle that comes into the school dinner, and the whole family's Christian, but that one religious uncle just keeps shoving out Bible verses and this, that, and the other. And other Christians, other, like, family members avoid this guy. And the question is why? Well, just because you don't understand why, it's because people don't care to be lectured. Like, grown ass adults don't care to be, treated like children and lectured on their worldview for any reason by anybody. So again, I genuinely want to know who the fuck is watching this. Titled "The Star Beast" and titled what? Okay, it cuts off annoyingly. Titled "The Star Beast" and making its BBC debut on November 25th, 2023, otherwise known as the series' 60th anniversary. The Doctor's latest adventures centered on the mystery raised in the previous special, the power of the Doctor regarding the titular protagonist till then unheard of regeneration into a previous incarnation, featuring the return of the series icon David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, but actually the 14th Doctor. The episode begins with a chance reunion. Why did you do this to me? A chance reunion between himself and his former companion, Donna Noble, as portrayed once again by Catherine Tate, who shockingly does not remember her time at his side. Yeah, that's the thing. I do remember that goofy looking woman, but apparently they retconned that, or it's just another attempt to belittle the Doctor for some reason. Further adding to the Doctor's confusion is the fact that Donna and her husband Sean Temple are not parents, as he soon makes the acquaintance of their male to non-binary female presenting transgender daughter Rose, as portrayed by actor Yasmin Finney. Notably, Rose's transgender identity is confirmed by the scene near the beginning of the episode. Therein, while helping her mother carry some items from the car into her home, Rosa is mockingly catcalled by a pair of passing young men with the use of her original name, Johnson. Oi, Johnson, you alright? Looking good, Johnson. Give us a kiss, J-boy. What the do you think people act like this? Like, this is, like, anime villain cartoon levels of, like, dumb. Like, this wouldn't even be offensive. It'd be funny. Like, is this how, like, could you not have made them look any more like assholes? Like, maybe misgendered? Like, they call you by the name you once were, but they, I guess, did not misgender. To which the transgender individual spawned by imploring her subsequently enraged mom to just leave it. Like, I don't really understand what's the point of this scene. But before he can discover any answer to either mystery, the Doctor, Donna, and Rose are caught up in the universe-conquering machinations of a small white-furred creature known as the Beep of all Meep. What the fuck? It's self making it live-action debut nearly 43 years after its original debut in the 1980 comic strip Doctor Who and the Starbees. Okay, so it's like, oh, remember this? Remember this? It's like we can't make our own original story. We need to bring shit up from 40 fucking years ago. As originally penned by Pat Mills, John Wagner, and Davis Gibbons of Doctor Who magazine. First discovering its inquiry in the alley behind their house, Rose, unaware of the creature's true intention, brings the meat to the Doctor and help it bandaging its wound. Get this shit off my screen. I hate when it does that. You cursor over something and it starts to play. I don't care about all this. I kind of want to get to this. Yes. However, before we can provide any... hold on. Let's go a little bit before it. The two eventually successfully thanks the assistance of Rose, who used the information available to shut down the Meep's psychedelic sun mind control machine and free his soldiers from their forced servitude. The Doctor ultimately determined that if the two are to continue surviving, they must expel the aforementioned energies from their bodies. Informed by his previous encounter with the beings, the Doctor then begins to prepare himself for a tough battle in separating Dr. Donna from her host. We've still gotta fix you two, he explained to the pair as the Meep is escorted off to prison, but that thing is wrapped around your cortex. However, before he provide any further assistance, the Doctor is met by the assertion by Donna that, yes, we know. We know everything, thanks. Rose then chimes in, her line delivery once again dripping with condescension. To this end, Donna then adds, and you know nothing, before deriding the Doctor for having regenerated out of his Jodie Whittaker portrayed 14th form. Oh yeah, this was the Doctor Who beforehand. It's a shame you're not a woman anymore, because she'd have understood. And at that point it's like, okay, what? We've got all that power, but there is a way to get rid of it, explains Rose. Something a male presenting Time Lord would never understand. Ultimately, Donna reveals that the woman's solution is this reality-breaking energy crisis was to simply just let it go, prompting the pair to then solve the entire problem by easily willing it away. Davis' next Doctor Who special, whatever the fuck itself, obstinately, I don't know, featured similar quality storytelling. But yeah, this is the thing that I wanted to get into, is the fact that they effectively just belittle the Doctor Who for literally no reason. Like, I genuinely believe this is just something they added. Like, this has to be like the writer's fetish right here of just belittling the Doctor for absolutely no reason, right? And it's the fact that, like, you see this face right here. This is the face he makes, all while they're belittling him. And I'm like, he could have had a response. He could have been like, yeah, I have all this power, but, the point is to defend people with this power, right? Because that's the idea that, most, like, say, Marvel movies or most DC superhero movies would have. It's like you have all this power, but you use your power for good and to defend the weak. But, again, all while they're belittling him for being a male-presenting Doctor Who, he just sits looking dumb like this with his eyebrow raised, and they're standing here all condescendingly, and they're surrounded by guards. And it's like, okay, well, again, I think anybody in this situation would have had a rebuttal, but because they wanted to belittle the original Doctor Who, they're like, no, just have David Tennant just sit there looking dumb. And I'm like, okay, so does the actor have little or no self-respect? Because it's one thing to just play a role and just get money, but it's another if, like, say, you're Henry Cavill and actually care about the character and care about the world and care about the IP. But then again, he was ousted immediately for no reason. Or, well, there was a reason, because, you can't hire people who actually care about the IP. You gotta hire people like this who don't actually care, so you can make the story however way you want. Make the story as cheaply or as, void of all character as possible, or in any storytelling. Then when the fans have a problem with it, you hire actresses like Rachel Ziegler to just belittle them and call them this, that, and the other. Like racist, sexist, this, that, and the other. And only to have the show fails. And I don't understand who the fuck watches the BBC. Like, something like this would have never been made, like, 30 years ago. They would have been laughed out the fucking room. But nowadays, it's almost like they're made to make shit like this. They have to make shit like this. Like, they genuinely have no choice. Because if you actually try making a good story, right, you're thrown out. You're blacklisted and all this. And people have so much malice that they will go out their way to try to shut you down. And it's what happens with, what's that one movie called? Songs of Freedom, I think it was called. Yeah. Like, people went out their way to stop that show from even hitting the movie theater. And it's sad. It's honestly sad. But it's like, this is why people go to anime. Like, it's not like we have nothing to watch. It's that, sadly, it cannot be what we used to like. And, again, normal people just move to anime. But that's all I gotta say about this. See ya.